Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through my AFL Fantasy Team Round 9 review, going through how I went, how I scored, how the team value's going, as that is an important indicator at the moment, and how my rank went for the round and overall. So before we get into it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, 2182 rounds, as you've probably seen across some socials, I posted it, as well as team value going into the round was 1991, and it's currently now, I think it's ticked over to 20.42, but 20.41, it's within 10 grand there. And then a round 9 ranking of 12,577, and then we went up, what was it, roughly 500 spots, 517 spots, I believe. Yeah, so a pretty good round, another positive round, and that is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positive rounds on the bounce in terms of ranks rising. So that's, yeah, really positive, and I'm actually really looking forward to the buys, because I think I have a team that can not only really compete, but be really, really positive and come out of the buy with, I think I was chatting with someone, and I think I can come out of the buy with 12 or 13 guys above 900k, as well as almost have a full premium team. That's how well I think I'm tracking at the moment. So let's get into the team. So as you can see here, Nick Dacos, D1, did exactly what he needed to do. What was it? 41 touches. Just a casual 41 touches. Yeah, I cannot believe he got to 41, and only 3 marks and 1 tackle. So it shows that he's able to get 115 with only, what's that, 9, 13, 14, 15 points outside of disposals. So he got 100 points from disposals. Yep. That's all you really need from him. So yeah, he's been a great pick to start with. And well, did I start with him, or did I brought him in, didn't I? Brought him in, I think, round 2 or 3. I brought him in pretty much from the start. And yeah, he's just been amazing. And will probably be in my AFL Fantasy team pretty much the rest of for a long time now, because not only this year but going into next year, as he's going to be the clearing out D1. And yeah, the only thing he really needs to add to his game is more consistency with in terms of marks side of it, and to add a little bit of a tackling game. If he can add 2 or 3 tackles to his game and get up to 4 tackles on average, we're looking at a guy who's going to average 125, 130 and be absolutely huge. And I wouldn't be surprised if soon, when Scott Pendlebury retires, he goes into the midfield. Maybe he goes down 5 or so disposals, but that's where he'll pick up the tackles, I think. Tom Stewart, as we saw, if you actually look at it metrics-wise, I think that was very similar to the game that we saw against the Swans. And I think that sort of obviously was a down game, but we got the tackles that we wanted from him, and the marks will come. I think he's just in a little bit of a rut with marks-wise at the moment. Then Tom Stewart, 96. Pretty disappointed that he only got 96 from the position that he was in. I'm pretty sure, was this the game that he had 63 at half? So from memory, I think it was. But, you know, he plays, who does he play next? Freo at Optus. If we go by, what did the Swans defenders do? Positions, Swans, positions, defenders. Last round, we saw Lloyd 95, Francis 75, Blakey 74. So I think he'll have at least a couple of intercepts like Francis had, as well as being able to do what Lloyd does. So I think it's very, very positive for him. So I'm looking for a big round for him next round, but a 96 is sort of just a holder score. We had a lot of people bum out on a lot of scores, so for him to, I guess, have a positive impact was good, and the 96 is always good. Will Day a little bit down, but I mean, he's owned by 35%, and got to hold him through the buys at this point, as he is the best Hawks option, I think. And I think there's 75. It's a little bit of a form drop, but he was playing a tough matchup in Melbourne and had a bad handball split. If that's flipped around to his North Melbourne game, then we're seeing here that is a 87 or 86 or something like that, and that's not even that bad. And he has West Coast at Tasmania, and we've seen here his ability to get a heap of marks. I'm expecting him and Sicily to combine for a heap of marks. You got here Duggan, which is my pretty much almost my +3 of the week if there wasn't a guy named Gordon, as he has really picked up form. He's gone into the middle, and well, he wasn't actually in the middle as much this year. This week it was only 13%, down from 44, but he's taking more kick out. Well, Witho's taking kick outs, but he's just getting more of the ball because he is like the only senior guy in that team. And really happy that he's got 4 more fixtures that I got to get through. And then he will probably, depending on what happens with Hearn and other injuries, we will assess around the bye week. But he might be one that goes up to a Dawson or not. Well, Dawson is the same bye round. So someone else in that defender category. If we look at defenders, and we look at average-wise, they're all annoyingly on the same bye round, which kind of sucks trying to get him out. But I'm sure that I can flip a defender here and put in a forward. And if we look at the forwards-wise, you got all of them round 15 because that's annoying. And then if we look at midfield, because I can get a midfielder for him. I can get, I'll find someone honestly by then. I might be getting Sarong and Brayshaw in at this point because they have the nice round 12 bye, etc. As well as you could try your hand on like a Parker or a Warner or something like that. And that's a way to get out of your last rookie. But Duggan's going fine, and we'll just assess in about a month's time around that bye week. Will Powell, a little bit down week, but still got a 79 when there wasn't really the uncontested game that we sort of expected. So, that kind of sucks, but 79 from him isn't bad. Why is there a dog going absolutely crazy? Hopefully that doesn't pick up in the mic. There was a dog just going absolutely berserk, almost to the point of just sobbing, crying. That was really weird. But moving on. Now we move on to Rory Atkins, and 75, yep, good cash gen from him. He moved up, what did he move up? 57k, 162k, and I think I brought him in 406, I want to say. No, was it 406? No. It was 384, wasn't it, that I brought him in on? 384, 386. So we've seen almost 120k from him, which is absolutely huge, and he's got a good break even this week, I'm pretty sure. Oh man. If we look here, Atkins, not that Atkins, this one, 17 break even, so even if he gets like a 70, that's still, I think it was a 70, got him up 40k, 42k from, I think it was Bailey's video. He got him up 42k, and that enabled him to, that would enable him to get up to almost 550k, but I'm really hoping for a 100 performance from him next week. I think it was something like 94 disposal efficiency, so he's not going to get dropped. It would be very tough for him to get dropped. Then we move on to Wilmot, and I'm actually happy that I decided to keep Wilmot now over some other guys, as one, I got rid of Alwyn Davies and Philippou, and Davies had a sub-performance of absolute failure and dropped 26k. So that was a positive, and Wilmot went up in cash, 9k. So that was a 35k difference. And also, I'm going to need Wilmot during the buys, even if his cash gen is stopped, just in case, just in the rare chance that he pulls out like an 80 or 90 or something, and that'll just improve my bottom 18 spots, and might enable me to hold premiums, etc. more, and that'll open up the buy rounds later when I have more premiums playing, and I don't have to shift as many guys onto later buy rounds and then shift them back. It will be less trading of premiums and more clearing my bench in the buy rounds, which will be huge for cash gen reasons and stuff like that, and getting my players on the ground, I guess, getting more cash onto the ground. So that's a reason why I held him, and 59, I'm really happy with that. Comes up against Gold Coast at the Gabba, so it'll be chip around from Gold Coast. So maybe he has a bad game, but I mean he could easily go 60 in that game. Tom Green, a little bit down performance from him, 81. So didn't back up the 170 to the best, but comes up against an easier opponent in St Kilda. Yes, they might run a tag and Windhager, as I'm pretty sure he's been doing well in the VFL, but I don't think it will really stop Tom Green because he's like 192 centimeters, and I don't think you can really tag him that well. And then has Geelong at GMHPA. That should be an interesting game. I think he lands probably about 13 tackles in that game. If we look here, he had a 13 tackle game against the Swans, so I think he lands a huge tackle game there. Then he plays Richmond North, and then Freo into the bye, hold him in the byes, I think, and then grab, and then just keep on keeping on as he's got Melbourne, Hawthorn, etc. to come. Then we have Petrarca here, 103. Some slight injury concerns right after the game, but it was just a rolled ankle. He'll be fine. He'll probably turn out a performance of the ages now that he's had that rolled ankle. His worst performance of the year a couple of weeks ago, but 80, 90, 99, and then 100 performances. Yeah, he's done pretty well. 106 average, pretty good. Then we move on to Bont, a 118. He's really gone up in form. If we look at his last 5 of 117, last 3 of 112, that's a great performance for a guy that I started at. I picked up at the start for 891, and he's currently performing at a price of, I believe, around the. If I grab my phone here and grab my calculator. 108.7. He's currently going at a price of 962, so he's actually a little bit unders at the moment for what he's doing. He's priced at I think about 107 at the moment, so that's really good. And Petrarca is pretty much the same, I believe. If we go to 103 times 8851. Petrarca's priced at 940, so he's a little bit unders. Then we move to Connor Rosie, and this is a bold plan that I have in place, but I think he's going to be the guy that drops in round 13. And I drop him to a Sarong or a Brayshaw or someone else like that to push all my guys to start getting those premiums off that round 15. As I think I'm going to end up with 8 premiums going into round 12. So that will leave me with 7 or potentially even 6 in round for round 15 after round 13. And then I've got to move at least 2 more of my round. I might be able to get it down to 3. I think I can. I think there is a way that I can get my buy structure so that every week I have 3 premiums going down, 3 premiums each round, swapping around. So it would probably be me trading around 12 premiums rather than trading off bench guys, but it'll enable me to get only having 3 premiums off, which will be. Well, I can actually sacrifice it and have 4 premiums off now thinking about it, because I will have 22 guys and it will be almost 18 premium scores, so that's fine. So I might actually sacrifice 4 in especially the round that Gold Coast have, as that's only 4 in 1 game effectively. So that scoring shouldn't be too bad. And then I'll have, Aiken will probably go by then, so it'll still be 3. But I'll try and get Duncan in there as well so that I can get, or something. We'll figure it out, but I think I have it set so I can get at least a lot of cash off the bench and still have, I think the goal is to have 3 each round, but I think in reality there might be a 4 because I might feel safe in having a 4 one round. And then you got Warple here, 85. Yeah, looking to ship him on. Him, not Ashcroft. Holland and Shinkoda are the ones that I'm looking to shift, unless of injury, but I don't think we have any injury concerns. Like, Petrarca was fine, Marshall was fine. I'm even moving in a guy that got subbed out because at the moment I'm moving in Laird because he fits that price range, 900k guy, and he was looking on for a 130 score until he got subbed out as a precaution because they were smoking St Kilda. So Warple will be the guy that drops at the moment. That is the plan, to get Laird and Fairhey from Shinkoda and also from Warple, and then just move Mitchell on field. As you can see there, I'm pretty happy with his job security at the moment. Then you got Ashcroft here, 109, absolutely huge at the Gabba, so I'm going to hold him through the buys, as he's got the Gabba game here, then he's got Adelaide at Adelaide Oval, tough game, but then he's got the Hawks, who are an easy matchup at the MCG, then he's back at the Gabba, and then he comes to round 15, which is the last game that we have to hold him, but then he has 2 games at the Gabba, so I will be looking to get rid of Ashcroft at round 18, it looks like now. And then we move on to Ollie Holland here, and 59. He's going to have to probably be moved on soon. I mean, he probably has a little bit of cash gen in him, as he went up 21k, but I think he's still got another, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40k, somewhere in that region. I think he maxes out at around 560, to be honest with you. And I think if he doesn't get a 65 in this round, we will see him drop off a little bit. Chincotta had a terrible game, and yeah, just 4 games, 62 average. I think he's still got some cash gen, but I think he's the one that's going to be sacrificed for getting Laird in over Wilmot, as I think Wilmot has, well, I can't do it without Wilmot, and I think Laird's just underpriced at this point, and we're seeing Rochelle's role start to drop off and Laird start to really pick it up. I mean, if we go to the AFL Australia, then we go to CBAs, I think you'll see what I mean by this. John Dawson, Riley O'Brien, Rory Laird's role here is pretty consistent here, but you're seeing less of a job from Rochelle. Saligo's getting a little bit more, but he's also a wingman, and you're seeing Sloan. So you're seeing a more consistent, I should say, role, and I think that's why you'll see Rory Laird start to really put up consistent performances, as it says that I've got Laird in my team, because I do have the Laird trade set up, but Laird's doing really well at the moment. If I flick over here to Laird, we see here only really 1 bad score, and then an 83 and an 84. So if you take out that 1 bad score, and I think you'll see that he's going 9 times 102.4 minus 57, and then divide by 8. If you take out that 1 bad score, he's going at 108. And you also take into account that he's probably missing 20 points there as well. And 20 divided by 8 is 2.5, so add 2.5 there. If he wasn't subbed out there, I reckon he's going at 110 for the year if he wasn't subbed out here and didn't have a bad game here. So it's if you're taking into account a little bit of stuff to get him to that 110 average, but he's currently priced at roughly 105 and has the good buy round for me, and has some really interesting matchups, especially this huge matchup in round 12 and round 13 to get huge points here, which I'll be looking to get. And I sort of can't get to Dawson, so I need to get to one Adelaide guy, and Rory Laird is the guy that I want to go for. So that's that. I can actually do this. I can do this, I'm pretty sure. Last round there. That doesn't work though, because it doesn't take into account the guys. So have to do it this way. Then we got, as we talked about, Sincotta. Ireland didn't play. Jury had a really bad game, but I mean, he's got Sydney next week, so hopefully he does better and just puts out a 50 score. Not really worried about him, just wanted to get some cash gen out of him. Then you got English here, a low score. Darcy actually beat him for a week, but I expect him to bounce back. I mean, he's the best ruckman in the comp, and he has Adelaide next week, then Suns, Cats, Port and North, so he has a really good run into the bye, to be honest with you. Struggling ruck, which will be a tough matchup, but he'll beat him around the ground. Geelong, I don't know what's going on with their ruck situation. Port, he could monster them, and then North, he could absolutely monster them. Then Marshall has got 116 and has two of the easiest matchups into the bye of Giants and the Hawks. I'm pretty sure the Hawks are still a good matchup for him. And then also Samson Ryan 72. He's just continuing on with the cash gen. Just got to be worried about when Nank comes back, which could be this week, could be next. And I might trade him out if Nank is back next week, as I'm pretty sure. If we look at the break evens, Ryan. If I go down here, was that Sam? I think I missed him. Here we go, 20 break even. So yes, it is a low break even that I would be trading out, but I'm not confident in him putting up a good score with Nank. As you see here, he only really got to the 57 because of 3 goals. If you take out those 3 goals and get him down to like 1 goal, that takes away 12 points. And if you take out a couple of marks in that game as well, or something like that, you're getting close to a 40 or 30 and 35, and that's only like 10k. And to be able to keep Chincotta, which would be huge, and the only reason I do that is if Nank came back, so number 1 Nank came back, and we saw a Ruckman debut such as McAndrews or someone like that, as that could be crucial in the bye round, having just another green dot that's a rookie gaining cash at the same time, as a lot of people have like Heath or other Ruckman as well. I know a lot of people do have McAndrew, but being able to not only gain cash on those people that had McAndrew, but also join in when he does debut, if he does debut this year, will be absolutely huge, as I'll have basically gained a free 250k on a lot of these guys. And yes, they'll have had a captaincy option, but it's only really done me bad in round 1, that captaincy option, having Samson Ryan. So I'm really, really happy with what's happened here. Then you got Tim Taranto 129, just keeping on. Nothing much needs to be said. Dunkley 88, a little bit down, but wasn't at Marvel. And then he has Gabba, Adelaide Oval, MCG, Gabba, Marvel. I'm looking at this game as well in round 15 as a VC. And that's going to be huge. And then we move on to Gordon, the player of the week for me. Yet again, I picked up the top scoring guy for the round and picked him up. And yeah, just huge game from him. And a 153 followed a 161. And I didn't miss out on the captain. I didn't miss out on the VC in... Who did I VC in the round before? Did I do a double Gordon VC? No, I did a Taranto VC last round, and then I went against it and went with the Gordon VC and gained 24 points out of it, so thank you very much. That helps me to negate this McPherson shocker, which we'll get to. Zeeble 104, and I was thinking about Mitchell, 104 average, yep, just keeping on. Last 3, 120, last 5, 109, and yeah. His lowest that I've seen him go is 88. I think I brought him in after round 4, I want to say. And he's just been really good. The only worrying thing about him is obviously he's past 30. So a lot of the times he turns up, and any time that they bring in potential subs or whatever, due to his dual position, there's always a worry that it could be him, but hasn't been him yet. And he keeps on keeping on. And I think he will play an integral role in the Swans game this weekend. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I'm saying that he's going to get a lot of cheap disposals, especially with the Swans' kicking accuracy. A lot of kickouts for him, and Sheasel, I wouldn't mind them being down by 50 or so points and then just deciding to kick it around and then eventually kick it down to Golden. That would be the plan. And yeah, these two, they go together basically as a package, and Sheasel had a little bit of a down game, and he's been a little bit off it. So maybe after the buys we look to get a more concrete guy, but I'm sure he's going to respond with a big score, and he's got 3 games at Marvel, so fatigue issues shouldn't be as much of an issue. Then you got McPherson here, 55, a really poor performance, but I mean, I was going to go either Steele or McPherson, and I guess McPherson was the better choice, as yes, he's had a bad game, but there's a reason to that bad game. and also he isn't injured, which is the better thing, and he's like 150k cheaper or whatever it was, and actually has been gaining cash. I know he lost a little bit of cash, but gained huge cash in the last round, so Steele's been losing cash, I'm pretty sure, both weeks. Then we move on to Seamus Mitchell here, 95, absolute huge, and yeah, will be on field next week as he's got an average of 65 for the year, and I kind of expect him to just be able to get 70 scores for me in that last rookie spot. And if he pops out for a 95 or 100 score, that would be great. But looked a lot better this week and looked to be trusted a lot more. Then we have Long and Chester, who should be back next week for West Coast, meaning that I get a further 2 guys on field, or not on field, but on the bench. And that'll really help with my green dots during the bye. And yes, that's why I am holding Uland at the moment, as he and Cowan are the only 2 rookies that I have for loopholes, and I really need good loophole options. And yeah, really happy with my trade outs this week, as Powell gained 35k over Philippou, and yeah, I got effectively a mid-price out of 2 rookies. And yeah, Philippou and Davey had a shocker, and that's why he's down to, is he down to 310k? Yeah, down to 310k with another bad break even and potential bench material or sub material, meaning that he won't score well. And glad that I got a good 130k out of him, but good to get him out and to refresh with Powell and Drury and move and I guess get cash gen going again, as I think Philippou and Drury are going to be around the same cash gen type of like 10-15k per week, but one is 200k cheaper, and I was able to get to the Davey money off, so it's probably the best that you can do. I could have gone to some other like Ollie Lord or something, or the Port guys, but they're key position players, so I don't expect them to back it up. And so yeah, that's the team at the moment, 2182, not bad, and that's the round review, I guess. So that's the review, and I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.